ability for where waters need to pass through and then build a sewage and all that to protect every life of the citizen. You can still say that you are far away from the sea and the ocean, but when it comes to arising, you don't know when it gets to your path. Well, let's move on. Abuja CP, other woman arrest over child abuse. The Commissioner of Police, Federal Capital Territory, Adewale Ajao, has ordered the immediate arrest of a woman alleged to have subjected a 14-year-old girl to starvation and physical abuse in Abuja. The directive comes after disturbing videos surfaced online showing the girl identified as Basharia narrating her ordeal in Hausa. According to the footage monitored on Monday by our correspondent, Basharia, originally from Zamfara State, was taken to Abuja after her parents fled their hometown due to incessant bandit attack. They sought refuge in an internal displaced person camp in the Gwigwa Eka area. In the viral clip, the teenager revealed that she was hired as a maid and taken to Abuja under the promise of better life. Instead, she claimed she was starved, beaten, and even burnt as a form of punishment. Visible bruises and burn marks were seen on various parts of her body, prompting public outrage and calls for justice on social media.
This is so sad. Imagine you taking a maid and they are brutalizing the person. And the painful part is when they need these people, they'll be like, I will take care of them. I'll do what they want them to do. You will say you want to send them to school, but no, you won't. You won't send them to school. You'll be using them to do anything that you yourself can use your children to do, and that is so bad. It's very bad. I just want the government to look into this.
Well, talking about child abuse, I think that this thing has become a very common phenomenon in Nigeria, and then many people, many women, and those that actually take in child into their custody are found guilty of this. Some are not even published online, while some are actually being published. Some are being called out, and then actions were being taken. And what I'm trying to say is the Nigerian security personnel, the police, they have to take into action. This thing should have to come into law, that whoever is found guilty, that is going to serve a jail term for it, then that is going to be reduced, because even some are even maltreating their own children to the point that you are going to question the fact, is this actually their children? Did they bet this person, or it was given to them the way they maltreat them? A 4-year-old girl, you see them on the street hawking, which is not supposed to be. So now and Nigerian has to take caution and then combat into this child abuse and all that's needed to stop. Well, let's move on. Gunmen killed man, burn house in Kwara. Gunmen believed to be member of Mahmouda group on Sunday attacked Kangogi town in Barutin local government area of Kwara State, killed one person and burnt many houses in the community. The bandits who invaded the town early in the morning reportedly killed a resident before setting some houses ablaze. Gathered that the gunmen took advantage of the absence of the vigilantes in the community who had traveled to attend a workshop while others had traveled out to celebrate the Eid al-Kabir outside the community. It was further gathered that the gunmen who had feed days in the community between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. were, however, dislodged by the combined team of soldier and vigilant mobilized from the adjoining settlements in the area.
Speaking of the security, I still say that they don't know what they are doing, because you being assigned to a particular job and you are saying that you want to go for a festive period, you should not even leave that particular place.
Well, talking about a festive period, it's a holiday that everyone actually have to observe when it comes to Eid al-Kabir, and then everyone have their right to actually. It's because of the state that Nigeria is right now that we feels like some certain people don't have to leave their duty post because of especially when it comes to security personnel. If Nigeria were supposed to be free of bandits and attack and insecurity, I don't feel like there's anyone that would be held accountable for this. It is our government that is still on denial that actually such things is not happening in Nigeria, that we needed to hold accountable, that they need to send a lot when it comes. They have to equip our security personnel, give them the go ahead to actually combat this insecurity, this bandits, this fire those people that are attacking us, and then put an end to it once and for all. We can count how many years they have been in existence now, and it's really saddening. A vigilante is just a vigilante, not actually a government worker, security personnel that we are talking about is a vigilante. So even if they were supposed to be there, if those insurgents are actually over them, they are going to take them out, and then that is what we are talking about.
Accepted the government are not actually doing their work, and we also blame them for that. But still, even though they want to go for Eid, their festive period, they should assign some people that will stay there. Let's forget about the vigilante. What are the policemen doing? What are the soldiers doing? Is it only vigilantes that we have? If they share this duty amongst themselves, there will be peace. If there is cooperation, if there is unity, there will be peace. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, everybody has to take accountability of what they've done, but what are the government doing about this? Talking of the harms that they should give the people securing us, where are they? What is happening, Osha?
Well, let's move on. Lagos to prosecute 10 suspects for street trading. At least 10 individuals have been arrested by officials of the Lagos State Waste Management Authority and the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps around the Alaba Rago Ojo area of the Lagos Badagry motorway for alleged street trading and environmental violation. The Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, confirmed the arrest on a post shared on his X.com handle page on Monday. Wahab emphasized the government's unwavering stance on the enforcement of environmental law. Our joint enforcement team from KIA and Lauma clearance operation along Ojo Alaba Road and the Badagry motorway. I think, well, when they actually wanted to talk about the environment, I feels like everything has to do with it when it comes to waste, and then when it comes to people and the trade that is going on the road as well. It actually has to do with everything. When it comes to that environment, you have to make sure that whoever that is involved in it, whatever you think you are doing, even if you feel like it's something that is legal, that you are trying to earn a living in a working state, they are going to make sure that everything is being wiped out. If you are not owning a shop in a proper market way, you are not allowed to actually trade in a public way, because it's going to go against the law of the environment of that state as well. So I'm not saying that this is actually the right way, but when they says that they are actually trying to take things into their hands to cleanse Lagos, I feel like this is the best
Way to do it.
to go about it.
It's not even about the law. They are trying to protect us, because some drivers, they don't know how to drive. Okay, now for example, you putting your things on the road, you are selling, and you don't even look at the road, and the break from the driving just the driver just lost his driving ways, and he hits he or her. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So now the way it will be, it'll be like, Jesus, can you come? And it is from them, because if they were not on the road, it won't have happened. So it's for everybody. Like I said, cooperation, it matters. Let us cooperate, let us join hands together. Yes, we know that what government are doing to us are not good, but at the same time, they are trying to protect us. If they are not doing this, how will we survive?
Well, today's top story from Daily Trust. Adopted retired army officer dies in captivity despite payment of ransom. The 76-year-old retired major from Nigeria Army was reportedly kidnapped on Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, from his residence around 11:30 p.m. by armed men after sporadic shooting. It was learned that barely 24 hours Hours after his adoption, the government put a call to his family demanding the sum of 50 million naira ransom for his release, which the family declined for want of funds. After lingering negotiation, his adopters and the family settles for the sum of 10 million naira for his freedom. A source from the family noted that his adoption accepts 10 million naira as soon as they discover that the ex-army officer may not survive in their hand due to his deteriorating health. Our brother has been managing an ailment for which he has been on medication for years. Since his retirement from the Nigerian army, we pleaded with his adopter for his medication to be forwarded to him, but they refused, saying that would attract additional cost. Unfortunately, when they discovered that our brother was at the point of death because of his ill health, they quickly accept the sum of 10 million ransom during the negotiation. That is a
It's so
sad one.
sad. Yes, imagine the chief of army staff. If they can do this to the chief of army staff, how much more we, the citizen, we are not in the same hand at all.
Well, talking about that, I feel like this is actually a sad one for a retired army
Mm-hmm.
for not being safe in its own country. And then the health that we are talking about, this thing should have been done when this
Needed.
call was being made. Then the government would have done something because this person spent its entire life trying
Serving the country.
serving the country and protecting the people. Now his fate was supposed to be ended in a tragic way in his own adopted people that he always wanted to protect the citizen from was now the one that captured him and then his life has
So
to end.
sad.
My condolences to
Yeah.
the family and I'm so sorry for that. Let's move on. Poor emergency service dog Abuja FMC. Finding revealed that while the hospital has recorded achievements in infrastructure expansion and adoption of new medical procedure, it has, however, faced persistent cases of patients and their caregiver lamenting medical negligence and slow response to people in need of emergency service. Some residents have lamented being turned away at the emergency unit of the hospital when their relatives were in their need of care to save their life. They allege that the delay or no response at all has sometimes led to loss of life as well, worsened health outcome for those affected. However, the management of the hospital has countered all allegations leveled against the medical center, stressing that it is not usual for such a hospital that is usually filled to capacity most of the time to have one or two patients with a complaint.
It's not easy.
Well, I feel like this is one of the things that we have been talking about when it comes to health sector in Nigeria. That the way it's been done, when you look at it, some are actually there trying to say that they needed this person to be admitted. My family needed to be admitted. Then I will make the payment later. I don't have enough money now, but those people are being turned down because if they don't make a full payment, they are not going to be allowed to be admitted. They are not going to be attended to. And I feel like health comes first. If this person is still going to be in your care when you are taking care of this person, I feel like the payment, how much the amount may be, is going to be paid. But denying this person, I have heard a whole lot of stories when most people die off because of unattended to when it comes to health set. And then it's not just the federal, it's not just the state, it's actually all over when it comes to private sector and also the state sector and also the federal hospital, and it's really alarming. Nigeria needed to deal with this when it comes to hospital and then when it comes to
Okay.
attending to exactly. So it's really saddening us right now, but I feels like there is something that needed to be done, something that needed to be done to save our life. There are many people right now that don't even want to visit the healthcare because they
Mm-hmm.
feel like if they go, they are going to
It's
be
a waste of
denied,
time.
they're going to be put down. That is it. Well, let's move on. 6 killed in another Plateau attack. Source said 12 people who sustained injury are currently receiving treatment at various hospitals. Resident says the first attack occurred around Ancha community in Bassa, LGEA, while the second one occurred in Guinea Baswa, Rinji community in Langai. district of Mangu, LGEA. Daily Trust report that the latest attack happened a day after four persons and two others were injured, including farmer and herder, who were killed in Umoko Ishe community of Kakenke district of Basa while on their way to mining sites. That is a tragic one. This is what we are still talking about when it comes to our government listening to us every day. They read news as well. They know what is happening.
Just turn a blind eyes to
It's not
everything.
just turning a deaf ears to it, and we are already talking about insecurity in the northern part, and then it's spreading all over the country. It's spreading to every part of Nigeria. The south, the southeast is actually experiencing the same thing now, and then they are already negotiating on the 2027 election that still have 2 years to come. This is really saddening the country that we are living right now, where we can't even look at our leaders for protection. We can't look our security personnel for protection, and
There's no
it's
there's
heartbreaking for
there's
us
no
to.
safe place for us there at all.
Everybody is at a run. They don't even know how to even protect themselves. If you are being kidnapped and your people and your family are buoyant enough, wealthy enough, you say that you can live there as soon as possible. But if you are not, you have to stay there. Those that have been released are talking about their ordeal with them, how they have to eat raw grass and all that just to stay alive. That is really saddening. People are going through a lot in the hands of kidnappers, and our leaders really need to do something about
Sincerely
it.
speaking.
Well, let's move on. Driver runs over female bystander in Lagos. Yet to be identified driver attempt to flee but was apprehended by those who witnessed the accident. The suspect, who was in a black Toyota Tundra with registration number FST22HP, veered uncontrollable off the carriageway, jumped over the pedestrian walkway, and fatally knocked down a woman standing by the roadside. Unfortunately, the lady died instantly from the impact of the vehicle, a witness said. Management Authority LATSMA, Mr. Olalekan Bakari Oki, who confirmed the incident, says after knocking down the lady, the vehicle rammed into a nearby private premises where livestock are kept and damaged the perimeter fence and a adjoining advertising billboard. General manager says witness narrated that upon realizing the gravity of the calamity he had caused, the driver made a frantic attempt to flee the scene but was stopped by the timely arrival of the official from the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority,
This
LATSMA.
this is so sad. This is what we are talking about. Imagine someone that is standing on the way, on the road, a bystander, and a vehicle just came all of a sudden from nowhere and hits the woman. Imagine you selling something on the road.
Well, talking about that, it's I feels like the way it's been described here, it's about the car losing control.
Control.
Maybe the brake fail, and then because after running over the he
He
has
tried to feel.
he's not trying to feel. He actually run into another building where a livestock was being held, and then it run over the fence and also a billboard, advertising billboard. That means that it lost the
Control.
yes, the brake was out of control. That is what caused it. It's a tragic end, but actually things like this that happen on the road when motorway, especially express and all that, were born to happen, and then we are to be conscious of where we are standing and also be at alert. My condolence to the
The dead
person that
person.
lost his life and its family. Well, it's always how it's supposed to be. It's not. He shouldn't have fled. He should have just like admit what happened, and yes, that is it. All these are bound to happen. Losing control on the road, and it's for you that being the driver know how to manage yourself to make sure you don't run anything over. Even that. Well, to our lovely viewer, we have come to the end of today's show. I have been your host, Bella. Be sure to join us again, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, have a blessed and lovely day. Bye.